invite Joel to come up and wow us with all his experience.
Okay, so I'm here today to talk about the American dream and how it's been hijacked. It actually represents something utterly different than it did when our country was first formed. And that's affected the way we think, the way we shop, and it's even affected our relationships. And the term American dream actually came about in the 1931 book, The Epic of America, by James T. Adams. And he defined the American dream as the dream of a land in which life should be better and richer and fuller for everyone. I believe that the American dream, though, has taken a different route, and it can be better defined by the term consumption than by the phrase richer and fuller. For example, we live in homes that are 3 times the size that we used to live in just 50 years ago. And home sizes are increasing, and family sizes are actually decreasing. So we're putting far fewer people into much larger houses. Another example, which is going to explain why these kids are doing jumping jacks, is storage unit spaces. Storage unit spaces we have so much space that you could fit every single American into them, and we could all do jumping jacks. It's an over $22 billion a year industry. Basically, we have so much stuff that we can't fit it into our giant houses, and we have to rent another space to store it in. So to paraphrase Tyler Durden from Fight Club, he said, "We buy things we don't need with money we don't have to impress people we don't even like." So it's kind of ironic that the American dream has actually turned into the opposite. We've become slaves to our possessions. And psychologists have done a lot of studies about the way our consumption affects our happiness. And they found that it has a drug-like effect on us. So basically, if you're not sure how drugs work, check out the movie Scarface. Lots of drug use in there. But it's basically a high followed by a significant crash. And this drug-like effect has a fancy name. It's called hedonic adaptation. And it basically defines keeping up with the Joneses mentality. So what they've discovered is that stuff just doesn't satisfy us the way that we think it will. And that it doesn't breed happiness like we think it's going to. But what does is real friends, close community, and engaging work. So we even treat consumption the same way with technology. Take Facebook, for instance. You might have hundreds or even thousands of Facebook friends. You might like their post, but do you even really like that person? So if consumption actually only makes us sad, only has this weird effect on us, why do we continue to do it? Basically, we have the worst memories ever. We forget that the 4th flat screen TV just didn't really satisfy us in the way that we thought it would. Or the 9th. But there is good news. We've seen the ways that we've utterly failed the American dream. But how can we take it back? There are 3 takeaways that I've got that would help us to reclaim it and to live a better, more joyful, more sustainable version of the American dream. Takeaway number 1. Get rid of the things that you don't use. Just like this family, toss it out or give it away. So you've probably got 8 polos in your closet that don't fit anymore, maybe 4 pairs of pleated pants in the back that you don't wear because who wears pleats anymore, right? Wendell Berry wisely said, "Don't own so much clutter that you'd be relieved to see your house burning down." In 2010, an elderly Canadian couple won the lottery, $11.2 million, and they gave it all away. 78-year-old Violet was asked why. She said, "What you've never had, you never miss." Her husband said, "That money that we won was nothing. We have each other." Takeaway number 2, make your future purchases thoughtfully. Ask yourself some questions before you buy. Do you really need this? If you do, is there a way that you can get it used? Also, are you buying it just because it's on sale? I fall into that category sometimes. I'm trying not to. 70% off, it's hard to refuse sometimes, I understand. And also, think about the well-curated art gallery. All right, just like this. It's thoughtful pieces, well-placed in space. So let's make the thoughtful purchase over the mindless one. Takeaway number 3. Use a hotel room as a model. All right? So when you go on a vacation, you can pack a lot of things into a pretty small bag, and you're pretty comfortable for 2 weeks, right? But for some reason, when we're in the comfort of our own homes, we don't take that approach. Instead of taking the "we probably don't need an" approach, we take the "why not" approach. We fill our homes with clutter. So I know for me personally, the best experiences I've had are traveling and exploring and just being with my friends and family. Those are the best times of my life. What about you? When you look back at your life, are the best things the stuff? Or are they the memories you've created, the experiences? So this guy's having a good time, right? Scientists have also shown us that the best things about life are experiences, that doing is so much more important than getting. That means that dinner, hang out with your friends, going out with them, being with your family is so much better. Even getting naked and putting on a bear head is so much better than buying a new car, and it's way cheaper. So basically, what I'm saying is that we consume less, make smarter choices in our lives. It puts control and freedom back into our lives. But that means some changes. That means going to the library as opposed to the easy Amazon purchase, okay? That means instead of paying that cable bill every month that's exorbitant, hanging out with your friends for some real conversation and community. And so you won't be alone, okay? Because as Americans, we're starting to make changes in this direction. We're seeing the new home sizes decreasing and more multifamily housing. And people are actually starting to keep their cars longer. So it's kind of a movement that's forming. So in conclusion, the happiest people are not those people in the richest countries. It's not even the people with the most stuff. So prioritize doing over having. Prioritize people over things, because no one ever sat on their deathbed and wished that they just acquired more stuff.
Now, I definitely think I've got to talk to Joel for a continuing ed class for everybody on how to pack your bags with nothing in it. I just came back from a trip in November, and I promise you, I had to measure them, and they were like 49.5 pounds. And the ones that were a little over, I was shifting back and forth. So, a lot of stuff. So, I appreciate that. That was really good. And now we're looking